Okay, I think I have the mic on now. So hopefully you can hear me now. Let me know. Okay, so I'm getting the no sound comments, but I'm hoping that it's fixed now. Okay, we're working now. I just got word that we're working here. Okay, so hello. So hi Rachel, hi Lisa, hi Amvita, hi everybody. Yay, it's working. Nacho is here. So of course, oh, it's backwards. So of course I can't edit things out. So we will just go with whatever noises my cats decide to make in the background here, but it's only appropriate that Nacho would be here too. Hey, Amelia. Hi, Ellie. That's awesome. You guys can hear me? Yay, I did it. I worked. If any of you had the original link and you were watching, I apologize for my bad language on the internet. I clicked go live to test it out, not realizing that my microphone was hooked up then. That's why it was actually just muted because we turned it off. So I apologize if you heard me curse into the internet, but I'm glad you guys all found me. Good morning, Sighthound. So where are you guys tuning in from? Again, it's 11 o'clock here on the East Coast, so I'm curious where you guys are and how your morning's going so far. And then I'll kind of show some WIPs. I don't have a huge agenda here. I figured it's just so nice to just chat, especially with being home and not really getting to see and talk to people. Good morning, Christy. I'm so happy you're here. That's awesome. So yeah, let me know how you guys are getting on. We'll give it a few more minutes and then I'll start showing things. Hi, Mom. My mom's here, everybody. So you have to be nice. Everyone will be nice, of course. From the UK, awesome. You thought it was funny? Okay, good. So someone heard me curse and then say out loud, I cursed on the internet. And then we thought we muted it and we didn't. So you hear us continue to talk about it. So it's now been deleted. So I'm glad you guys found it. South Dakota, that's awesome. I was in South Dakota once. I did a road trip when I graduated college with a friend of mine, and we went from here, so like the East Coast, out to like Denver, Colorado-ish. We didn't do like complete cross country, but we had whatever road we took. What is it like? Oh, we took 90, I think, Interstate 90 across into South Dakota, and then I think that's when we turned south, or maybe, I don't know, but we were in South Dakota for a couple of days because it was like rainy and cloudy, and we wanted to see like the Black Hills and what is it called? With the presidents on it. Oh my gosh, Mount Rushmore. So we stayed an extra day there. And it's just so beautiful there, the Badlands and everything. It's so beautiful. Minnesota, it's super cold. Here it's like super sunny. It finally warmed up, but we're supposed to get more snow tomorrow. Watching me from India, hello. Negative 15 degrees. Oh, that is cold. From Wales. My mom went to Facebook by mistake. I specifically told you this morning, YouTube, not Facebook. That's so funny. Yeah, I-90 goes all the way across. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it was Wyoming where we turned south down into Colorado. I honestly, the geography past like west of where I am now, I can't tell you where anything is. Yes, both kitties love the rap. That is very true. He is purring up a storm. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Yeah, I-90 is a boring drive. But it was nice to like plan and kind of like go off of it. So we went up to um, like the Mall of America. I think that was like a little bit off, but at least we kind of like, um, did like a little excursion off of there. Anyway, good morning. Shalom. So I don't have too much of an agenda. I have like a ton of projects sitting out in front of me here that I can go through. But if you guys have questions on anything, like let me know. If you guys are working on projects you're excited about, I'd love to hear about them. I just again thought it would be fun to chat, and it is already. Thank you guys so much for joining. By the way, I really appreciate this. You can hear him purring. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You're so loud. You're like a rocket ship. You're so loud. Anyway, good morning, Naturally Creating. Did I say hello to everybody? I hope I did. So you're fine with him being in my lap. So my cats don't lay on my laps. They lay near me. They're like always nearby, but they are not lap cats. And they're also really big. So you probably have been able to tell, but he is really big. So he doesn't even fit in my lap anyway. But I guess I'll start showing some WIPs. I was just going to talk about them a little bit. So feel free to jump in and let me know what you want to talk about. So otherwise, I'll just keep talking and drinking water because I don't know. I'm going to be talking a lot. So one exciting project that I'm actually done with, I just have a few more ends to weave in, but this is finally done. My Stephen West shawl, months and months later, here it is, all done. Obviously not blocked. I'm still weaving in ends because there's a lot of them, but it's finally done. I'm so excited that this is done because it's just been like hanging over my head and it's all I've been working on. And so having it done, it just like weight off my shoulders. I can work on other things and do what I want. And just make whatever I want and not worry about this shawl anymore. It's kind of, and I'm gonna do a whole video on this on Friday. I'm hoping to finish weaving in the ends today so I can block it today so I can record. I typically record my videos on Sundays. So I'm hoping to get that done today, so that I can record that tomorrow and talk about it. Thank you guys. It is nice. So I'll talk about it more on Friday, but I talked a lot at the beginning and throughout this that like I wasn't sure if it would be wearable because I thought it would be humongous. And we'll see how big it blocks out. Like definitely down here, I think it's going to like really block out where like the chevron is. So I do think it's going to grow, but right now it's actually not that deep. Like it's actually pretty wearable. It's just the vastness of it is in its width, like the wingspan of it. So I think you could probably wrap it around yourself a few times, but I actually think it will be more wearable. But of course, we'll see when it grows. It could like double and triple in size when I wash it. So we'll find out. But yeah, finally done. West shawls are a true commitment, almost like a sweater. I feel like it's like even more than a sweater. I feel like it's like that many more stitches. Let me scroll back up and see some more comments here. Good morning, Amber. Nacho acts like he knows there is a camera. I agree with that because he will come over here when I set up the camera. He'll like jump up and stuff. So I agree. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he's the star of the show. Nacho is the best cat. If you guys want to guess who is saying that, you can feel free to guess. I will not agree or disagree. Both of my cats are equally the best cats. Thank you. It's finally finished. It will look even better when it's blocked. I agree. A lot of it like is kind of scrunched up, like even, and I don't have it so I can see myself anymore, but even like these blocks, like those will grow quite a bit. Yeah, they're definitely not accessories. They're definitely your outfit. I totally agree. Suzanne asked if I will be making more sock blanks. I will. I think what my plan with the sock blanks is to do them all as like one of a kind. And so I just need to kind of get through some of the other dyeing that I have going on and give myself time to like dye them up as one of a kinds. But I actually do have them like in stock and I just need to dye them. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. I think you got the Galentine's Day one, so I hope that's going well. Wrap it around you. Let's see how it looks. I have to do what my mother tells me. So, again, it's not blocked, so it's definitely gonna grow. But yeah, it's really like thick around here. Oh, but let me move the laptop back. But like right now, it goes like to my waist. Like you can see my sweater's actually longer than it. Like I know this is gonna grow down, but even if I stretch it out, it's not that long. Like it's definitely my shirt. Like I definitely would not wear something that I wanted people to see underneath. But it's definitely like more wearable than I expected it to be. And it's like super bulky up here, which is nice for like keeping it warm. I don't know what the hoax shawl is. That's a Stephen West one too. The colors that I use, so I dyed all of this yarn. So I can show, did I bring the project? Yeah. So the main color that I use, which is like the gray speckly one, is Speckled Orchid. So it's a gray with the hot pinks and greens. So I had this as a regular colorway first, and I have a video on dyeing up all of this if you're interested and haven't seen it. But what I did to make this kit was I basically just like broke this colorway apart. And so I made this, which is Hibiscus Tea, which is kind of like the hot pink that I took out of there. And then I used Dragonfly, which brings the green into it. And then I wanted to do like a gray to bring out the gray in it, but I didn't want it to be pure gray. So if you guys see it, it has pinks in there too. And it's really subtle, the pink. But it just like, I think when it knits up in here, you see it more as the dark gray. But it does have like that pink in there. So that's the kit that I used. So yeah, really fun. Cats always know when you're on the phone or Zooming. Yes, especially during work hours. One sock is done. Knitting the second. Friends are impressed with your blanks. Nice. There are still some in the shop, but I haven't dyed up a fresh batch yet. So yeah, I'm excited to have it done. If you guys have, let me know if you've actually worked on this shawl. The only ends that I have left is this, the section here where you do the triangle. So like one row basically is creating all of those short row triangles before you go into the chevron stripes. So they're all separate. Like each one of these triangles has two ends to it. You had to like break the yarn in between. And so those are the ends that I have left is the short row triangles. It's not heavy because it is fingering weight yarn. But I am getting kind of warm just because there's a lot of bulk up here around my neck. Yeah, London Fog is, I mean, it's overall like a black gray, but you do get a little bit of the pink and it almost makes it look like purple, I think, because of the gray. My mom did just finish a pair of socks. She got a custom color for me that was like pinks and purples, I think. And she did this for like the contrast color and it looked really well. That brought out the pink versus like in here it kind of gets hidden by everything, but there it brought out a lot of the pink, which was nice. All right, Stephen West shawl. I am gonna take it off because I am getting warm because I'm also wearing this sweater underneath and I just worked out like right before, so like my face is still red. I never like cool down for my workout, so where it's warm in here. And I have my lights on too. And a warm cat just purring away back here. Star of the show. It's really funny to just talk to you. Like you guys are talking to me, of course, but like I'm also just sitting here talking to myself. Oh, yeah. So right. So the cast off was an I-cord bind off. So I don't know how many stripes, Lisa, you did, but did, I just did one. So in the pattern, there was an option to do the stripes the way I did, which is basically one of each of the contrast colors. You could have also then done another set of stripes, which I guess it wouldn't have made the final row that much longer because I don't think there were that many increases in the last section. But I guess technically my bind off is probably shorter because I did the shortened version. The bind off actually didn't take me as long as I thought it would. I think it took me, I don't know, I finished the last few rows of this and the bind off like last weekend. I think I just like powered through it. I was like, I gotta get this done, power through it. So the bind off wasn't as bad as like some of the other parts of it for me. That shawl is swallowing me. I know it is. It's big. Now that I know the pattern, would I have made this different color choices? No, I would have kept it as I did. Like, I think you use each one like all throughout it, so I would have kept it exactly the same in terms of the 4 colors. And I do like that I have like brighter color choices in it. So no, I would not have changed it. You did 3, meaning 3 sets, or you did just the 3 stripes like I did? I would not have done 3 sets. I thought I was gonna do the 2 sets of stripes, like the 6 total stripes, and I quickly changed my mind. So that's that. You probably want to sleep on it. All right. So you guys want to see more of what's next? Are you guys sitting and knitting? Are you guys working on anything? I know it's like random times. People are kind of all over the place. Oh, same as me, 3 stripes. I'm good. My husband loves hand knit socks this time of year. You know what, BK? There was a time where I had to like beg him to let me knit him a pair of socks. And one day he was like, no, I'll never wear them. I don't like them. I don't want them. And then I just one day said, I'm making you socks. And I did. And ever since then, it was like, I need more. I need more. We want more. We want more. So, and I think we're both out of socks. I need to do a hand knit sock laundry load. So, hi, Shayna. Enjoy your coffee. I'm gonna need a second cup of coffee for sure. Knitting on a sock, very fun. Ooh, a new design. Exciting. So one project that I'm excited to, crocheting a Battenberg blanket. That's cool. I know that was really popular for a while, so that's nice. Are you using scraps for that, or did you kind of buy yarn for it? Ooh, a test knit for Amba that's due on Monday. Ooh, exciting. Ooh, my mom's knitting a hat for me. She's so funny. She was like, what is your favorite pairing of colors in your shop? And I like kind of suspected she wanted to make me something. And so I told her, she bought it. And then she was like, I liked it too much, I'm keeping it for myself. And then she's like, but I'm still knitting you a surprise. And then she ended up spoiling the surprise. She's like, okay, I can't keep it a surprise. So she made some headbands for us. And then even I was talking to her this morning, she's like, I made you a surprise. And I was like, I already know what it is. And she's like, how do you know? Because you told me already. You couldn't keep it a secret. So she double spoiled this surprise. But she's also knitting a hat for me out of Aurora, which I'm excited about. A shawl test knit for Ash Alberg. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look it up. A flax sweater for beginner class at a Knit Sheep. Yay, a Knit Sheep. Not a sweater knitter, so you cast on your first sweater attempt. Hey, that's a good one to do because the flax sweater I think is Tin Can Knits, right? They have like really good beginner patterns, so that will be perfect. And doing it, you said a size 1 to 2, or no, that was a different comment. Never mind. Oh, nice. Using yarn you dyed yourself. Awesome. I don't get the appeal of hand attacks until I made one and tried it on. Very true. And so same with him. He'll never make one himself, I'm sure, but he'll take them. What's nice is, so he has like size 13 feet. I think that they're like huge, but he likes shorty socks. The problem is, I feel like every time I make him a pair of socks, he asks for them to be like slightly taller and taller. So I feel like I'm gonna get to the point where I'm going to be knitting tall socks. But for right now, they're manageable because he likes shorties. Scraps, that's perfect. The pajama cardigan, that sounds comfy. Has anyone ever knit anything for their pets? Have you guys knit anything? People do like dog sweaters. He wants me to knit blankets because they apparently love laying on my hand knit. So my husband wants me to make some blankets for them. Should I make them sweaters, BK? I haven't knit because I don't want to get scratched. You don't want to get the item scratched up or yourself scratched up trying to put it on them. Big tall socks for any size gains. It's true. The first time I bought him, bought the yarn, like when I basically forced him to come to a yarn shop with me and pick out yarn, like the person working at the store was like, oh, you're making them for him? You might need 2 skeins. I was like, no, luckily he just wants short socks. I think like the 1 skein would be nice. But yeah, as he wants taller and taller socks, I think he'll need more than 100 grams. So you're right, having those any size gains, perfect. So I'm gonna do another cast on later today. So this is Aurora also, which is one of my newer colorways that you guys have probably seen, but it's like blues and pink, which kind of blends in to make some purples and speckles of like a brownish color, yellow, brown. And I'm gonna be making, this is a 200 gram skein. So I'm going to be making my niece a sweater, so I'm excited for that. You don't want yourself to get scratched up. That's what I thought. Ooh, a husky mist doesn't need a sweater. Crochet your cat some beds. I've seen some of those. So like when you crocheted them a bed, was it like kind of like what you expect, like a round bed, or did you crochet one of those like fake like miniature couches? I've seen those and those are hilarious. Thank you, Christy. Yeah, so I had the first sweater that I ever knit was for both of my nieces, well, 2 of my nieces. I knit them matching sweaters. And so kind of the advice I was always given for knitting your first sweater is to do like a kid or baby sweater because they're so small. So it's not like this huge commitment while you're like learning how to do a sweater. So I knit matching sweaters for my 2 nieces, and this was a few years ago, and so the older one definitely has outgrown hers. I don't know if the younger one has outgrown the bigger one yet, but in any case, she didn't ask me because like she's just too sweet and polite to like request a sweater from me, but she mentioned to my mom how, you know, she was sad, and my mom will probably correct the whole story here, but I think she like told her that she was sad that she had outgrown the sweater that I had made her. And so I said, I would love to make you another one. And so she said she wanted like blues and yellows and maybe some greens and striped. And the sweater that I had made them was the Playful Stripes one. So it has like a striped yoke. And so I thought she kind of said stripes because of that, like that was the sweater I'd made her before. So I kind of just went off on my own. I'm not making her a striped sweater, but I found like a really cute cardigan that it's like a top-down raglan, like basic stockinette body, but it has lace sleeves. And she wears cardigans like in her everyday wardrobe, so I think she'll really love it. And it like, the lace sleeves will like dress it up a little bit if she wants to wear it over a dress or, you know, wherever. And then, you know, it'll also just be cute with like regular clothes. So I'm excited to make that for her. And I'm hoping since it's for an 8-year-old kid, it'll go quickly, but who knows these days anymore. So I'm excited. This has been like my reward for finishing the Stephen West shawl. Like I was not going to cast on until the Stephen West shawl was done. So again, it's not cast on yet. I'm not going to cast it on until I weave in those ends and get it blocked and pinned out and stuff. So that'll be fun. All right, so you made a circle bed, not the couch. Yeah, I could see doing that. Like I think the bed is like a little bit more practical, but the couches are just so hilarious. My cats wouldn't. If I actually made it, like if I turned this shawl into a bed and said, "Hey guys, here's your bed," then they would never want to sleep on it again. Do you guys, okay, do you guys, I don't have I don't have samples here, but I paired Aurora in my shop with a yellow contrast skein, so kind of taking out the speckles. And then I also did it with a blue because I thought it would, based on kind of some of the feedback I got on Dye With Me's when I did a sock set where we were like picking out what color to do with a contrast skein, a lot of people like more expected a color from the skein. So that's what I did for this. And so my mom and I have a contest going on about which contrast color people like better. So that's why she asked you, Christy. Oh, I want to say too, because you just said you want to order both. As a thank you for coming and joining this live stream, and if you happen to be watching this delayed through the end of the day Monday, you guys can use the code FEB, like February, FEB, FEB Live 20 at my shop at agirlandherwool.com for 20% off. So feel free to use that all weekend long into Super Bowl Monday because we all need Super Bowl Monday pickup, right? Whether you win or lose, people come into work Monday morning after the Super Bowl like zombies. It's hilarious. I think my mom, yeah. So my mom said she originally liked it. So when I showed her the yellow, when I was showing her, I was on a video chat with her and my aunt and showed her Aurora and then showed the yellow contrast. They were both like, oh, okay. And so I was like, I better do like a second blue one because their reaction to it wasn't so great. But yeah, now she likes the yellow. I think they both look nice and they both go well with the skein, but we've had this little competition about how many people like the yellow and the blue. So even when I did that shop update video, I like asked what people liked better. The Monday after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday. Yeah, because so many people take off from work on that day anyway. And they always like roll in so tired. I personally don't really watch the Super Bowl, so like for me it's just a normal Monday, but it's always entertaining to me. My husband and I were long distance for a while, and so I would, take Super Bowl as my weekend to travel, and so I would then leave when the game started, so I would have no traffic. It was like the best Sunday night drive ever. And then I would go to the supermarket and it would be dead empty. It was like the best. It was my highlight travel day of the year to go during the Super Bowl. But now he'll have it on, so I'm sure I'll see some of it. Yes, congrats on your job. I know you said that at some other point. It's been a really hard year for people for sure, and hoping, with the vaccine and everything, things kind of open up somehow for people. Yes, very much a big congrats. All right, so that's the Aurora sweater. So you guys can start to look out for that soon. I always love my large skeins. They're so big. So I have no idea. This is how much it asked for, the pattern, but I have no idea how much I'll end up using of it for her. But yeah, I don't know how long it will take me, but she will get a sweater. That was the other thing too, was the lace sleeves will make it like not a super warm sweater. And I'm like, by the time I finish this, it'll be springtime anyway. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for watching, tuning in. Let me know what you're working on. All right, so the other project that I'm gonna kind of get back to is my Advent project. I failed miserably at doing an Advent project, and who cares that it's February? I'm just gonna do it now. So this was my Advent calendar that I dyed up, the gradient one. I did 2 Advent calendars, but I did 1 gradient. So I have this one, and I didn't dye it up for myself at the time. I totally forgot to. So I've since re-dyed it for myself. I opened it back up to people as well. So I have that. And this is another new colorway. This is Driftwood. I didn't have the large skein. If you guys didn't watch the shop update video yet, it's up, but I didn't have this skein in it. So that's gonna kind of go with it. And I'm doing the Adventuresome wrap, I think is what it's called, an Amba O'Brien pattern. So I had started it, I pulled it off the needles. I needed the needles, I think, to do like the swatches for the pooling video. So I have to get the needles back in, but that's gonna be that. So I'm excited to do that as like a mini personal Advent in February, even though it's now like the 6th and I haven't started. So that's that. I talked really fast during that one. Ooh, a test knit for socks for hooked. Man, you guys are giving new designers I don't know. I have to look these guys up. So yeah, did you guys do Advents, and did you do them successfully? I've never actually purchased an Advent calendar. And so dyeing one up for myself was the first one I've ever really had. So I've never like attempted to do an Advent calendar, like something every day. And honestly, I probably won't work on this every day. I don't get crafting time during the week. I just craft on the weekends. But what I'm kind of thinking is maybe to start using this as a way to build like crafting back into my week. I've like come up with this really great schedule that's working really well for me to balance like the shop and work, and then have weekends free so I can like do things like this and relax on the weekends. And so what I'm thinking is maybe using this like Advent project in a way to like somehow find like where a good 30 minutes would be in my week to like help get knitting back into like a daily routine. So we'll see if that works out. I don't know when it would be. It probably won't be the morning because I basically wake up and dye yarn immediately. So maybe it would be like when I first sign off of work, like sit and knit for a bit before doing like my yarn prep and packaging, which is what I usually do after work. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with an Advent every day. I feel like it's true to like I could see getting really into it and like wanting to like keep working on it and getting ahead, and then like by the end being sick of it. So it's almost like worth it to like do a little extra in the beginning and like spoil it a little bit. Yes, my mom's first Advent project is here behind me. She very nicely knit up the Advent wrap for me. I knew I wouldn't be able to, but I wanted a sample of it, and I think she finished it on time minus like the bind off. By then I think she was pretty much done with it minus the bind off. I think she finished it like the 26th or the 27th. But it came out so great. I'm like leaning over so that you guys can see Nacho here. Right? So what else? The other thing I'm planning is Amba O'Brien announced her mystery knit along. So let me know if you guys if you guys are planning to do that. I have to go through and figure out colors because I'm like tempted to really try it, even though I like just finished up these fall mystery knit alongs. Like I'm just finishing up the Stephen West one. I just finished up the Tammy Gore one that I did. So it's like hard for me to like mentally commit to doing another mystery knit along shawl, but I also like can't resist either. So I need to at least like look at her description and see what colors and everything and kind of come up with some kits. But we'll see if I actually knit it. So I'm curious if any of you guys are planning to. I just like, there's always so many exciting things to work on and knit on, and I don't know. I appreciate if any of you, I know some of you have signed up to sample knit, and I want to say like, so if you signed up to be a sample knitter and you haven't heard from me at this point, I went through last night and I responded to I think everybody. So if you haven't heard from me, feel free to send me a message, but I got most people kind of signed up for something, which is really great. There was really great feedback, and what's good about the beginning is like I want to kind of get caught up on having samples of like all my regular colorways, and so I have a lot planned. So yeah, so if you haven't heard from me or you're waiting for a response from me, just send me another message, because I sent the call, like everyone filled out the forms, and then I sent out one like massive email, which basically Gmail has now put it into like one email. So it's like hard for me to see if I've responded to people, which I'm sure there's a setting that I could change, but yeah, so if you're waiting to hear from me, feel free to nudge me, because I think I responded to everybody, but it's very possible I missed someone. Yeah, Amelia, I get that. Like, just she's saying that she prefers to like open it all up at once and decide when she sees it. I can see that. Do you open it? Do you still open it up day by day and then you decide like after December what to do, or do you just like on day one just open everything up? You want to do the mystery wrap by Amba? Okay, great. I don't have to do it. My mom will do it. There we go. Now I don't have to do it. There are two A's stranded colorwork knit flat. It's like two pieces of stranded colorwork knit flat that you put together. Is that what you mean? I honestly, I didn't read. I saw she sent it out, like the info, but I haven't actually gone through the info itself. Is that what it is? It's two separate pieces that are stranded colorwork that you knit together. I did see she said you need a lot of contrast, so I could see that it's a lot of color work actually, now that you say that. Yeah, I'm excited to have you guys too. It was such a great response to the call for sample knitters. I appreciate it. Shayna, if you're still watching, thanks for sharing it too. I got a lot of great feedback, which again, it's just like such a huge weight off my shoulders to like take one thing like off my to-do list and like, you know, basically, you know, also get to know you guys too. It's been a great way to contact people as well. The stranded colorwork worked flat is what we put me off too. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever done stranded colorwork flat. I don't think I have. So you have to like purl with your colorwork too, I guess, or is it like garter stitch colorwork? Interesting. I'm sure what she came up with is absolutely beautiful. Like I have no doubts, but you're right, maybe it's a lot of work or something. How long did it take me to jump into starting my own business? So you mean like how long was it from when I thought about maybe I should do this to like when I open my shop, or like how long has it taken me to like kind of get to a certain point? Since I'm not a knitter, what is a sample? Oh, Christy. So I would do a sample crocheter as well. I know I called it sample knitters, but yeah, it could be crochet too. So basically the program that I've set up is people kind of gave me preferences for what they like to work on. Again, I intended to go one, individually to people, but I ended up just doing like a more mass email about what I was looking for. But so I didn't have crochet projects on that list, but I am more than happy to kind of pick out some crochet projects. But basically, the sample crafters I'm sending them some of my yarn, and then they'll work up projects for me and then send it back. And in exchange, I'm giving out gift cards to my shop. And the gift card value is like 150% of the value of what I'm sending to you. So if you are interested, there is a sample knitter form on my website at agirlandherwool.com. If you kind of like click on shop, it should be one of the options is sample knitter form. And if you can't find it, I can just email me and I can send you a link. She said purling was on the wrong side. Interesting. So colorwork purling. Ugh. Mom, you can do that one. Oh, so you mean like how long did it take me to consider it until I like actually was ready to go? I would say I was like somewhat thinking about it for like years. In a way, like it was something that always intrigued me. I always thought it was so cool that people had like that business that they kind of worked on and all that stuff. So I would say it was like always in the back of my mind, but like for a few years even. And then, but I always told myself like, you can't do that, or like it's such a saturated market, like why should you do it? Like, and I, put myself down in those ways. And so then one day, the story I always tell is that one day we, a few years ago, so pre-COVID, we went to visit one of my friends who lives like maybe an hour and a half away from us. So she had just had a baby. And so we went to go visit, and we just did a day trip. And I ended up driving home, which I'm a morning person. So I usually do morning drives and my husband does nighttime drives. But for whatever reason, I ended up driving home. And so I drank a lot of coffee. This is a long story to say. I drank a lot of coffee late at night and stayed up, couldn't sleep that night. And I scrolled through my phone on Amazon and ended up with all of the supplies I thought I needed in my shopping cart. And that's the magic of what happened. I kind of tested things out to make sure I liked it, and I did, and I thought, what could possibly go wrong? And here we are. Oh, my brother's here now too. Hi, Andrew. Andrew, is Hannah there? I showed yarn I plan to make her sweater out of if she wants to see it. Maybe the first color work is more like mosaic than Fair Isle. That would be good. That would be way more doable. Christy, I can wait. So if you're interested, let me know. But you are more than welcome. Norwegian purl style. What's that? You hold the yarn to the back so that makes... I don't know what Norwegian purl style is. I'll have to look that up. I keep thinking the market is saturated. It is a saturated market. Okay, so hand-dyed yarn, there's no shortage of it. If I were not dyeing yarn, okay, Hannah's there. Hannah, do you want to see the yarn I'm going to use to make your sweater? So it is a saturated market. You're definitely gonna, if you want to do it, do it. But go in knowing it's a saturated market and think about what you want to bring to the hand-dyed yarn business. If I weren't dyeing yarn, like if every day there's hand-dyed yarn available. You can always get hand-dyed yarn. So yes, it is a saturated market, and you just have to decide what you want to bring to the table, whether that's certain style of colors or whatever it is, and just go for it. And you never know. You never know. I need to know what Norwegian purling is. She wants to see. Okay, Hannah, here's the yarn I'm gonna make your sweater out of. So it's got some blues in there and pinks and purples and then just a little bits of yellow. The colorway is called Aurora. So it won't be a striped sweater, but it'll be pretty and colorful. So I'm gonna try and start it this weekend and hope that you get it sometime soon, but you never know. Yes. So to have a yarn dyeing business, you can't just post yarn and expect people to buy it. You definitely have to put yourself out there, like I'm trying to do here today. So I did this really to talk about WIPS and everything, but yes, like you have to market yourself. You have to be posting on Instagram, you have to sponsor things. You definitely have to put yourself out there. Oh, Gina's wondering what she... Okay, so Hannah is my oldest niece, and Gina is her younger sister. Gina, you got the, what were they called? What did we call them? The green socks that I made you. Do you wear those ever? Remember I made those for you, and Hannah didn't get socks. But if you want something, Gina, you can have it. Do you want a matching sweater? Do you want something else? And maybe Grandma will make it for you. This year brought out a lot of new indie dyers, probably a lot. I think in general, people started a lot of side hustles through staying home in the pandemic and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you do have to put yourself out there. It's funny because like when you are putting yourself out there as like a business, you don't necessarily get turned down, right? Like I guess people turn you down in the sense that like they don't shop at your shop, but you don't know that because it's not like you're like, hey, do you want to shop in my shop? And they say no to your face, right? It's more just like you put yourself out there and people don't come shopping, I guess. But like that's all part of it. So it's not like as harsh as like going to door or something. Yeah, it is kind of like Frozen Colors, BK. That's true. All right, bye, Ellie. Well, we can keep going for a little bit, but I can also wrap this up soon. It's been almost an hour, so maybe we'll plan to, I think Nacho's ready to go. He just meowed very loudly in my ear. My husband just went either upstairs. I think he went upstairs first, and I think he has since come back down and he's gone to the basement to go work out. And Nacho gets very upset when someone is in the basement without him. So I think that's kind of what's going on here too. But yeah, if any of you guys found me through my dye with me videos and are learning to dye or are interested in it, I say just go for it. You never know. And what I tell myself like all the time is you get out what you put into it. So if you are expecting to just like dye up yarn and put it on the internet and have people buy it, like you're setting your expectations wrong. You definitely have to put yourself out there. And if you guys know, you guys probably all know Boston Jen, we had like a little chat once, and she said, like I kind of said the same thing about how like, you know, putting yourself out there and, you know, talking to everyone. And she said something to me like, you know, she has found for herself, like in the knitting community, you definitely have to put yourself out there, but everybody has just been so welcoming. And I think that's true, and it's a good reminder in my head of like just keep putting yourself out there because people are generally pretty welcoming. All right, thanks, Lisa. I started dyeing in my kitchen. Is that difficult or dangerous? So I did start in my kitchen. So in terms of the difficulty of it, yes, it was difficult simply because putting stuff places was annoying. I always had to put everything completely away. I always had to take it out. My husband was always, and I was always frustrated that like our kitchen was basically taken over by it. In terms of the difficulty in actually doing it, like it's actually easier. So now I use electric burners. My gas stove was much nicer. Actually, so in terms of like the physical like aspect of dyeing yarn, it wasn't difficult to do in my kitchen, but it was difficult in terms of like space. And I always like to spend a few hours dyeing. Like if I'm gonna dye and take everything out, I want to spend a few hours doing it. And it almost was like hard to schedule that time in our kitchen because my husband and I are on very different schedules. We live in different time zones basically, and so that part was difficult. So like I even said like a couple of days ago, like we don't show appreciation enough for the fact that I've moved out of the kitchen. Like we just don't, we take it for granted. Is it dangerous? I just was, you know, I always wore my mask. My husband always kind of stayed away when I was in the kitchen, and I just wiped everything down. I covered everything with tables, the floors, the counter, everything, or with towels. Everything was all covered up, and then everything would get completely put away, and I would wipe everything down immediately. So tried to keep it safe, and yeah, my husband wouldn't come in the kitchen when I was dyeing. So hope that answers it. But any other questions? Otherwise, I'll probably wrap up too. But this was so much fun and a success. So if you guys like this, I am more than happy to do it again. I'm not sure how often I would do it, but if it's something you guys want me to do, I can. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna do live dye with me's just because of the mask and everything, and taking that on and off would be annoying and distracting and loud. I don't know, it just wouldn't be so much fun. But I would totally do kind of these sit and chat. I never actually took a project out. I was planning to actually sit and knit here and never took anything out. I have a vanilla sock here that I didn't work on, so we can sit and chat another time. So let me know if you liked it. I've never dyed with food color ever. I just dove right into the acid dyes. Go big or go home. I more or less live, but actually with the food colors, I thought about at least figuring out how to do it. That way, if like my nieces wanted to do it, I don't know if they're still there, Hannah and Gina, if they wanted to do it, we could. I more or less live alone, so that's now plus, right, yeah, you don't have to worry about other people needing to eat all the time. Good, I'm glad it was fun. Hey, no worries about being late. I know this time might not be ideal for people. I don't know if I would do it at this time again. We'll see. But again, I'm like a morning person, so after lunch, I'm like a groggy slob. You don't want to talk to me then. So I thought the morning was best, but I tried to push it later because I know people are kind of all over the place. All right, I don't see too many questions. You've used Kool-Aid. Yeah, I've heard people do that. So I think like once the pandemic is over, I might try to see some of that, because see how some of that works in case I have crafty kids around who want to try. And they're not using dyes. Oh, good. So Pacific Northwest, but like the time, yeah, because it's probably like first-ish thing in the morning, kind of, before you kind of get your day started. Awesome. I'm glad you guys liked it. All right, so I will wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, if you do want to shop in the shop through Monday, I'm not going to announce this anywhere but on this video. So if you are watching it late, obviously you can use it too, but you can use Feb Live 20. I'll write it in here so you guys can see it. For 20% off your order at agirlandherwool.com, which should be linked, but I didn't end up going in and checking if the links were working. So feel free to use that coupon code. And was it hard to find bare yarn source that I liked? No. I have tried different bases and things, and have I mean, I haven't tried too many bases in general, so I kind of try to stick just to the wool. Like I haven't really tried like the mohair or anything like that. So yeah, generally like what I've found. Hey Christy, so the thing with, so yeah, I could do a Zoom so you guys can chat too. I just thought YouTube would be easier for me getting it posted, but I think I probably could have done that too. All right, guys, I am going to end the stream here. Thank you guys so much. Tuesday, we'll be back with another dye with me. So I've already dyed up the second photo, so we haven't caught up yet. Go back and watch the last dye with me. We're doing a photo inspiration series where I'm dyeing up multiple skeins off of the same photo, kind of showing the different things in it. And then Friday, I'm going to talk more about the Stephen Westshall post blocking. So check that out. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye.